rather signed off with that?
I do.
You do?
I do.
Yeah. You're a student of television history. Courage. How long did that last? Was that one show, or was it for a while?
It takes courage just to look at that new haircut for me that he's got. So I don't know who talked him into that. Is that the 90s or is it the 90s anymore? No.
It's not the 90s, no. He went short. He went, he
went spiky.
Hey, listen, he's a 70-year-old man. He's 69 years old. He's pretty good for that, huh? It's all right. I mean, Dan's hanging in there.
Uh-oh, they're showing my hair again. Yeah, who am I to be talking about anyone's hair? I know.
That's true. That is true. Glass houses. Goldman Sachs upgraded over at Lehman from a buy to a strong buy. Just want to let you know. We'll see whether the stock has any upside. Mark, back to you.
All right, thank you, David. Up next, the portfolio manager of the Oakmark Fund. Everybody else in the world is down this year. He's up 20%. We'll ask him how he did it, plus the first broadcast interview with the new U.S. Deputy Treasury Secretary Ken Dam. Top of the hour, Jack on the box. Jack Welch, former chairman and CEO of General Electric, now looking for a job, and we're his first stop. Don't go away.
Hey, Jim, you hear about Chanco Wireless?
I just ordered 200 shares.
I went for 300. I locked in at 25.10.
I got it for 25.05.
But we ordered at the same time.
That's too bad.
Well, why did your broker get it cheaper?
Because Ameritrade doesn't play favorites. They go to multiple market centers to look for the best price.
Well, my broker does that. Don't they?
I don't know. Some brokers buy from networks they own. Sometimes they sell you stock out of their own portfolios. And sometimes when you're really mad, your neck gets all blotchy.
I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Fine. Attention, everybody. Please do not talk to Tom about his unfortunate stock purchase. See me for details.
Switch to Ameritrade for better order routing. To find out more about best execution, go to Ameritrade.com. Ameritrade, it's how you get somewhere on Wall Street.
Nickel for your thoughts?
Looking for some long-term capital appreciation, the Oakmark Select Fund has just over $4 billion in assets. Year-to-date return of 20%, one-year return, almost 30. Let's talk to the man with the hot hand. Joining us from Chicago, Bill Nygren, portfolio manager of the Oakmark Select Fund. Bill, thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Mark. Good to be here.
Where are you making this money?
Well, I think the story in the marketplace over the last year and a half has been stocks moving back toward their underlying intrinsic value. That's meant the technology stocks have come down substantially, and it's meant just about everything else has done pretty well. We went into that period owning almost nothing in the technology sector, and our companies in consumer products, industrial products, and financials have all done quite well.
All right. How do you pick your stocks, Bill?
We try to estimate what an acquirer would pay for the business, and then we don't want to pay more than 60% of that number for the stock.
Does it? Let me interrupt you. Is that your first screen? Do you rule out certain sectors or certain market caps? Is that the first thing you look at?
Well, we don't look at small cap stocks in either the Oakmark or the Oakmark Select Fund, but
okay.
in the mid and large cap sector, we're looking for stocks that are undervalued. Then our further screens are we want companies that grow at least 10% a year, and we want managements that are economically aligned with the shareholders. We think that
revenue growth 10%?
Business value growth. So combination of earnings growth at an EBIT line, and then also looking at what they do with their free cash flow.
Yeah, and how do you determine the value? Is it a matter of... I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt you right now. We have what appears to be a very serious... Is that the World Trade Tower?
Yeah.
This is...
Mark, a plane hit it? They think so.
This is one of the towers of the World Trade Center in Manhattan, which is clearly heavily involved in a smoke situation, and one would assume there is fire.
Mark, I heard from somebody who spoke to someone in the building. They just called me and they said they were told to evacuate and that they were told that a plane had hit the building. Now, again, I spoke to One of my Wall Street sources who said they had just heard from somebody at a Wall Street firm that has some offices in the building that they were told to evacuate and that a plane had hit the World Trade Center.
Now, you can see from this perspective that I would say about the top 15 or 20% of this building is affected in one way or another. We don't know whether the smoke condition originated on a lower floor and is working up, or is in the middle and working both ways. And as you can see, we really can't tell from these pictures whether there is any fire involved. It would seem to be a reasonable assumption given what we're seeing, but you never know. But this is obviously a very large problem of some sort. One would feel safe in saying there's a fire in there somewhere, and
yeah, well,
it's big. I mean, it has a lot of the building involved here.
We can only hope, Mark, given the time, that many people were not yet at work.
That is correct. That's a very good point. That is a 9 to 5 kind of environment, that building, although obviously many people would be there in the off hours, but the majority would not be coming to work until about 10 minutes from now.
It is also in the financial district, of course, on the west side of southern Manhattan, right near the World Financial Center, where a lot of Wall Street firms have their offices as well, not far from the New York Stock Exchange. You can imagine that that area is going to be filled with a lot of emergency vehicles, probably starting right now.
Again, we are looking at it from the west side looking east, correct?
I think so.
This camera is in Jersey City?
Yeah.
Matt Quayle, let us know when you can. I believe we're looking at it from...
It looks like the south building.
It does look like the south building. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. The report continues to be that a plane hit the World Trade Center.
That is what I was told, Mark, again, by somebody.
It looks like the north building.
I believe it is the north building,
yeah.
And because that's the Empire State Building in the foreground. So it is the north building, and it looks to me like there's a rather large hole in this north side of the north building. I'm talking about the way the smoke is coming out of that side of the building, roughly. Again, what strikes me is how many floors are involved. This is a very large part of this building.
You see the debris coming out.
Yes, and this, by the way, there are an awful lot of people who work in the Twin Towers have their own zip code. There are so many people who work there, and there are so many offices there.
They recently sold, in fact, by the Port Authority of New York to an investment group, Mark.
It does appear to be. The damage does appear to be, probably has originated on the north side of the North Tower, but we are still, details very sketchy, and a lot of it is speculation until we can nail it down, but there does not appear to be any major damage, for example, on the side that we're looking, that is closest to the camera here. There does appear to be major damage to the exterior of the building from the north side. And I think it's also safe to say there is a significant fire going on inside that building right now.
Yeah, that hole, I guess it's hard to estimate.
See what I'm talking about? That entire area seems to be
gone.
Seems to have been crashed in somehow.
And obviously high up. Hard to say exactly what floors, but certainly the highest floors. Somewhat